Welcome back to another New York Giants Daily Fix podcast. We are going to be previewing the 3-3 New York Jets versus the 2-5 New York Giants. How you feeling, Erm?
Let's go, baby.
I'm
Let's
excited.
go.
I'm
Team
excited.
reclaim our stadium, reclaim our state. Let's go. This is a big matchup for us, man.
It is.
I mean, how are you feeling offensively with us with our matchups against them?
There's a couple matchups I'm pretty happy about. The Jets overall have a great defense. It's hard to pinpoint which spot is a weakness, but one spot I feel like that's a weakness is the middle of the field. I
Hmm.
think um I think Waller coming off a huge game and Michael Carter in the slot nickelback position. I think if Wandale is lined up across from him or Waller, I think those are matchups we can exploit. Now,
Yeah, I think. Sorry to chime in, but I think Waller should be able to dominate that matchup. I don't know exactly how tall Michael Carter is. I know the offensive guy's short, but I think the defensive guy's not that much bigger. Uh, I think that's a matchup that we got to just dominate,
yeah,
honestly.
and if Waller's in the slot, CJ Mosley won't follow him. CJ Mosley usually is in that middle linebacker role, the same way we use Bobby Okereke.
Hmm.
And I don't want to see Waller lined up next to a tackle this game that often. I want him out on the sticks, getting a separation and being used more as a receiver than a tight end. And if Michael Carter is lined up against either of them, he's not having the best of seasons so far. He has a pass rating allowed of 89.2, 8.6 yards per catch, PFF grade of 58.5. So I really think we got to abuse the middle of the field. The slot receivers have good production versus the Jets. Like I think CD Lamb went for 140 yards against them. He's
Hmm.
normally a slot. Obviously, we don't have a CD Lamb, but there is areas we can exploit on this Jets defense.
Yeah, and honestly, I think they're more of like a zone defense as well. So hopefully we can get obviously guys like Waller, he's a more experienced guy. Guys like Wandale, hopefully they can get to their spots and just sink down and sit and wait for the ball.
Yeah,
Uh,
and especially last game we talked about the yards after catch, and Michael Carter has missed 4 tackles in the last 2 games.
all right,
If
so
if
that's
if we
huge.
can get these guys the ball, make a move 1 or 2, and get and just create space, we should be able to have a good yards after catch.
So feed Wandale and Waller this week.
I 100% agree. This is not a game that we could test. We could test Bryce Hall, my bad.
Yeah.
We can't test him or Sauce Gardner deep. I think we should still take a couple shots at Hyatt, but not as many.
Okay. So
Okay.
I want to actually look at this offensive line now. Uh I know that Thomas is a question mark. Thomas is back at practice, limited this week. He's not a full participant, but I think he's gearing towards playing. If he does play, that'd be huge for us. Obviously, you know the impact of him. Obviously, the entire fan base knows he's our most valuable player. Uh, I know if he plays, he's probably going to be seeing Jermaine Johnson for majority of the game, but he'll probably see a little bit of Bryce Huff. Bryce Huff, I think, is probably their best true pass rusher. I want to say.
Hmm.
Uh, he has 25 pressures on the year, so he's doing pretty good. He's ranked 19th edge. So I don't know who they choose to put on Andrew Thomas' side if he does play, but that's definitely a matchup to look at because Andrew Thomas' first game back, and then JMS, another guy who's supposed to be playing this week.
I'm pretty sure he's gonna 100% play. I'm confident on him.
Are you excited?
I'm very excited. I am scared for Quinn Williams, but I think JMS will be able to hold his own.
That's a tough matchup to get thrown into your first game back. Obviously Quentin Williams is a monster. He's I think he's ranked eighth in PFF right now as a defensive tackle or defensive interior defensive lineman, whatever it is. He's a monster. His sack numbers don't necessarily tell the whole story. He has 25 pressures on the year. Uh, I know it's JMS's first game back. It's a tough matchup, but I want to see JMS. I want to see him. I want to see him work, man. Honestly, and if all goes well and both those guys play, I think the line will probably be. I'm gonna go with Thomas Pugh. JMS, and then I think they'll give it to Bredesen because they do love Bredesen and Tyree if Evan Neal can't play. I think that's
Yeah,
what they'll
I'm
do.
I'm kind of hoping Evan Neal doesn't play, but
Uh, I'll agree with that. I'll agree with that. I want to see what Tyree Phillips has. Give him another week. And
yeah, and I think this O line definitely does need to step up just because the Jets are a bottom two in blitz rate. You said I think they're bottom
uh,
two.
they have the second lowest blitz rate. Yeah,
Yeah,
at 18.83%.
but they still get pressure. So Andrew Thomas being back this week, if he does play, will be huge for us. JMS will be huge for us because we can move better Bredesen back to the guard position.
Yep. I think now that I know that in the beginning of the season we obviously didn't have depth on the offensive line, but as we start to see some of these guys get healthy, I think we'll actually start to see an influx of capable players, as opposed to like if Bredesen went down at center, who's going in? Like, do we even
Yeah,
know? You know
I
what I
have
mean?
no idea.
So we can move guys around where we see fit. I'm excited for that matchup.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's hard to pick like a starting five on the offensive line, and that's kind of a good thing
yeah,
because
that's it. I mean, listen,
now we kind of have options with people getting healthy.
exactly. The only two that are guaranteed, in my opinion, are Thomas and JMS.
Yeah, I agree.
So let's get it back. Let's get a little bit into this quarterback talk. What are you thinking about who's playing this week?
Daniel Jones has been limited all week, and I think he keeps saying that he's worried about the contact part of the game, which is a big factor. I mean, you're a quarterback, you're going to get sacked,
Mm,
but I would honestly rather have Tyrod this week, which is kind of weird because when Daniel Jones is full healthy, I would rather have him. But since he has been limited all at practice, I don't want to just throw him into the fire, especially with the Jets defense that gets a ton of pressure. And Tyrod the past couple weeks has been able to maneuver the pocket very well and escape pressure.
yeah,
I would want to see Tyrod play. He has 2 games under his feet now. I'm excited for this offense to keep building off of his performances.
listen, I 100% agree with you. I think that Daniel Jones being obviously in the same status as he was yesterday, today, isn't isn't a positive. Obviously, I don't want to throw him into the fire, as you said. Obviously, they have a lot of money invested into the kid. I think they'll hold him out another week. I just don't think it's worth it. I know they wanted to wait and give him Andrew Thomas, but let Andrew Thomas get a week under his belt. Let the line get settled. Let him get fully healthy because ultimately, I think that this year Tyrod has looked better with his offense, but when Daniel Jones is
Well,
ready to,
I don't even know about that because Daniel Jones put up more points than Tyrod's 2 starts in like one half.
that's true. That's true. However,
I think
look, I would say, listen, he's looked more composed in the face of pressure. He's controlled the pocket. I mean, he's done. I think he's done a done a really good job in the pocket. I
he
think
has.
we're starting to get some points on the board now, which is pretty cool. I think we'll continue to do that. If Daniel
Yeah,
Jones
I do too.
plays, I mean, I don't care who we throw out there. Like between them, it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I just want to win, honestly. Um, let's get right into our next topic. It's really the stopping of Breece Hall. We gotta. I think we should line up like 8, 9 people in the box and make Zach Wilson beat us. No,
100%. And I think that's exactly our game plan.
yeah, and I hope they listen to us.
I
But
mean, look, the last 2 weeks we haven't blitzed a lot. We've really went away from Wing's traditional thing. Maybe last week we blitzed a little bit
no,
more.
we blitzed a little bit more last week.
Blitzed a little bit more last
Sam
week.
Howell was
But
seeing ghosts.
yeah, exactly. But I think this week we'll really send the house. We'll because we have to shut that run game down, man.
Yeah, Breece
And
Hall is averaging 6.4 yards per carry,
that's
which
probably
is
top two or top three in the league.
I
Just
think it is top 2 or 3.
it's
And
just however many attempts you're counting with Devon and Achan.
yeah, he has 7 plays of over 10 plus yards on the season, 4.21 yards after contact, which is
Mhm.
crazy. And one player on the Giants defense I want to highlight is Bobby Okereke. Bobby Okereke has been a monster against the run.
Yup.
PFF grade might not show it, but he has a 77.2 run grade versus the run. Um, he has an average depth of tackle of 1.9 yards last game versus Washington, which
That's
is
crazy.
it is crazy.
Yeah,
Bobby
man.
Okereke is all over the place. Him and Micah McFadden have a big task on their hands of just stopping this Breece Hall Jets running attack. Because if
They're blossoming into a good duo, and honestly, I know you said Okereke, but I might say that McFadden might have a better game than Okereke.
he might, McFadden has
Honestly,
been playing very well recently.
he's looked really good. I think that's the key. I know they have Garrett Wilson; he's a monster. Throw Tay on him. It's not a question.
Yeah,
Uh, and then force them to throw that. I know we've struggled with the run this year, but I think our defense is really settling in now, where we can start blitzing a little more. The corners, the rookies are getting more settled in, and then just I mean, looking at their offensive line, they don't really have a strong unit. They battled some injuries this year. I think they've lost Elijah Vera Tucker for the year.
yeah,
Uh, I know Mekhi Beckton was starting at right tackle to start the year. Now he's at left tackle. So I want to see Kayvon have a big game. I think this is the game that Kayvon shows out. Uh,
it's Kayvon versus Beckton.
Kayvon versus Beckton, first round versus first round.
Yeah,
Kayvon,
Kayvon's been all over the news this week. He's been
he's
everywhere.
he's been blossoming. I think a lot of people take for granted that we're able to watch him slowly progress into the star that we know he's capable of becoming. Uh, this week's another challenge for him. We obviously know Mekhi Becton's a big dude. That's not a guy Kayvon's going to be able to win against with power.
With power. He
You're
needs
gonna have to,
straight
yeah,
speed.
he needs to go straight technique and he needs to go straight speed. He
Yeah.
needs to try to bend that edge around him. Uh, last game, Mekhi Becton, I think they played the Eagles last game. He allowed 6 pressures. So, I mean, I can't see why Kayvon can't get home at least once this game.
He
I
should be
just,
able to.
yeah, listen, I mean, he's having a pretty solid year. He has 5.5
K-
sacks. It's time for him to really step up into that role, continue to grow.
I
Uh,
think if we need Kayvon not only to get constant pressure this game, we need him to set an edge. Because
Absolutely. The
if
run, we need the run game to be.
we need the run defense to be perfect. Because if we make Zach Wilson throw the ball 30, 35 times this game, I feel very confident that we could win.
You know who I might say has a good game?
Who?
Ward.
I think
Hot.
Jihad Ward. I mean he is what he is. He's basically a run stopper, set edges. I feel like he could have a good game. He could set the edge.
Listen, they're a running team. I don't think he's capable as a pass rusher, but he has a bigger
He's
body
not.
type. I hope he can help set an edge this week.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
Um,
I really want to see him on the field a lot on first and second down. I want to see Isaiah Simmons running all over the place this game as well.
I think this is the perfect game to use them if you're going to blitz guys. Have them
Yeah,
come, send them
yeah.
all day. And speaking of Jihad, actually, I want to point out. I don't know if everyone forgot or if you forgot. Do you remember when we played them in the preseason?
The Jets?
That little hottie beef, yeah, that little hottie and Aaron Rodgers
Aaron
beef.
Rodgers beef. Yeah. He was like, I don't
Yeah,
even
man.
know who you are or something.
I feel like everybody kind of forgot about that.
It's
Um,
beef.
I feel like there might be a little animosity going into this game between the two teams. You know, I wouldn't doubt it. So
I hope there is. I want this game to be very physical.
that's what
It's
that's
gonna
what I
be
think it's ultimately going to be 100%. If they're going to run the ball and we're going to blitz, if that's what we're saying, if they're going to blitz, this is going to be a physical game. This is going to come down to the wire.
down to the wire. It's gonna be a low scoring field goal maybe type game. I don't know. I'm excited. I am very excited.
I'm excited, man. The city bragging rights.
We got a lot of revenge games too. We got Leonard Williams revenge game,
Yup,
Jason Pinnock revenge game.
yup.
I don't know if there's anyone else, but there's two people right there.
It's I don't know. I can't think off the top of my head, but
Might be it.
listen, the keys to this game for us winning, you got to mitigate the run, so you got to blitz. We got to blitz. We have to do something. You know, uh, I want to see a lot more Ashawn Robinson this game.
Nacho as well.
Yep, Nacho as well.
Get them rotating.
Get the big guys moving, man. Get them
Yeah.
moving. Uh,
Offensively, we need to throw the ball in the middle of the field. I think that's their weakness. I went and test Sauce Gardner a lot. I would like the short, quick game going. maybe some dump
Absolutely.
offs to Saquon, get him going. I don't think we necessarily have to run the clock a lot. I don't think we have to dominate time of possession just because
I think
their
both teams
offense.
try to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. So what's your prediction for this game?
I'm gonna go 21-17 Giants.
21-17?
21-17. We're gonna get 3 TDs.
3. Wow. I'm going a little different. I mean, scores are very similar. I have 2017 Giants. But I think we have 2 touchdowns. What's that? 2 field goals? Yep.
What'd you say again? What's your
2017 Giants.
2017?
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
2 touchdowns, 2 field goals.
yep.
All right.
Yep. I'm feeling pretty good about this. I'm excited.
I'm excited.
1 o'clock game at MetLife Stadium.
Stop that. Stop that right now.
It's so hard not to say Jet Life. I don't know why.
It's MetLife Stadium. That's the Giants' home, man.
It's Giant Stadium. My bad. It's Giant Stadium.
Giants Stadium.
After we win, we can claim it.
Yup, absolutely.
Well, thank you guys for listening. Let's hope we get a Victory Monday podcast coming. And
Absolutely.
yep, we'll see you guys soon.
All right. Thank you guys for tuning in.